Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader. With me, Break It Down. Let's return to the pit and speak to
Rise
Kibellah
to the
and
top,
Ulfar.
or get left in the dust.
For we are thy blades, washed in blood and darkness. For we are thy wings, broken and featherless. When the crimson flood comes and the river of death flows, guard us from weakness. Burn away the fear and despair that stain our souls, for they are thine to claim.
Bella's gaze wanders aimlessly over her temporary shelter. Her bloodless lips whisper a prayer to the undying Emperor, stumbling over every word. She falters, and her hands start to shake. You wish to speak with me?
You. That sounds so strange, considering how many me's were made. Can you be sure you are talking to the same woman you were close to? For all you know, you left her body lying there in the Xenos' cage, where we died and rose to profane life so many times over.
Bella says nothing for a while. Then a bitter chuckle escapes her pursed lips.
And now, just when I need the blood-spun web the most, my family, my pillar, is so far away. I didn't notice it at first. This cold that cloaked my shoulders and has been weighing them down ever since we came to this dark city. The cold of solitude. Everything around me feels wrong, repulsive to my nature. But you don't feel this petrifying fear, do you? Your world and the world of the Xenos aren't all that different, are they? Both are full of duplicity and masks that cover fake aspirations and a hunger for pleasure.
Bella suddenly raises her head, pinning you with her dark gaze. What is the matter with you? How can you compare the Emperor's servants to the enemies of humanity?
I've seen those you call his servants. Not one of those souls spends their every waking hour trembling at the thought of their duty to him. Empty talk and base delights. That is all they toil for.
She bares her teeth like a rabid beast.
Our bond, Domin. Our bond was a mistake. I can't pass this trial because my thoughts are distracted by pointless worries.
After a few heavy seconds of silence, Kibellah exhales through clenched teeth. Fury slowly gives way to weariness, despair. Then quietly she says,
Whatever has stretched the thread between us, we must stop it. It blurs our reason, robs our thoughts of their cold clarity, makes us lose the path through the labyrinth. The Vizier told us.
Bella shakes her head. Her fingers twitch, instinctively looking for a knife. Neither Kimura nor anything you say could change how I feel about you. I want to be with you. Do you understand? Your response hangs in the air, turning into an uncomfortable pause. Bella closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and finally breaks the silence first.
I must return to the labyrinth, perform the dance, spin new threads, remind myself of the blood-spun web, restore my spirit. I will make this journey by myself. I'm sorry, but I need some time alone, Domin.
She casts a glance at you. The shadow of a gentle smile appears on her lips. Oh, we still need to talk about everything else. Not now, Damadani Dawson. Let's first clear my mind. Alright, Ulfar.
Let us raise our cups at Fatter, in honor of deeds accomplished and in expectation of those yet to come.
Why do you call me at Vader?
This is the name given on Fenris to a pack father, a commander or captain. An Et Fatter answers to a Jarl, the commander of a great company. Since you are the one who commands your crew, and I follow you at present, I am granting you the honored title of Et Fatter.
Well, thank you for this honor.
Be worthy of it, and see that you do not disgrace this glorious rank.
How are you planning on getting out of here?
I have had a few thoughts on that score, but don't try to pry them out of me. When the time comes, I will share them with you.
Giant Space Marine casts you a sidelong look, grinning broadly. Wily's self-satisfaction is writ large across his harsh features, though he tries to hide it. Despite his worthy attempt to play the fool, the Space Wolf cannot deceive you. Ulfar does not fully trust you, and is carefully observing your reaction. Why do you devour your enemies?
Why do you think?
The Giant Space Marine grins, baring his teeth, and inquires innocently. The answer seems clear to you. This bloodthirsty warrior has simply gone mad in captivity. Come to think of it, he was probably slightly deranged even before he was taken prisoner. Is it a means of tricking your captors, pretending to be a monster? No, it's the, omophagia gland. They can basically eat enemies' brains and get their memories and information. It's not used a lot in the books and stuff, but it is a pretty powerful ability.
Partly, Et Fatter. It is true that I have led the puny Xenos on a false trail to dull their vigilance, but that is not the only reason. Do you know of the implant called the omophagia? It is one of the blessings the All-Father granted to his Astartes. Nerve nodes that connect the stomach walls and the spinal cord allow me to absorb information from the genetic code of the flesh I consume. I have slain many Xenos and feasted on their flesh. My captors have watched me do it and taken glee in it, while I have been gathering information and planning my escape.
Tell me about your brothers, the Space Wolves.
Not everyone is granted the right to ask such questions. But you, I shall allow it. What do you want to know about the Astartes from the glorious Fenris?
Who are the Space Wolves?
Vilka Fenrika. That is our name in the old tongue of our world. We are the fiercest of the All-Father's warriors, his executioners, his retribution.
This guttural pronouncement sounds primordial and ruthless.
Our fearless Wolf King is Lehman Russ, son of the All-Father. Our world is Fenris, and our home the Fang, which rises from the world's spine into orbit. We are the thunder in the bloody storm of battle that calls to us. That is who we are.
Ulfar's rumbling voice seems to reverberate in your very bones. Glory to the wolves of Fenris. Smiling in satisfaction, the wolf graces you with a magnanimous nod.
But there is more to our spirit than grim destruction alone. In the Hall of Heroes, we hold feasts the likes of which you will see nowhere else. To thundering laughter, we raise our horns, tell our sagas, and honor our glorious fallen. Though the body of an Astartes is built to be immune to the effects of drink, we invented a way around this taboo. The mead we brew can overcome even our blood. It makes us drunk, and makes our feasts jovial occasions. Mead. You can brew it nowhere else but on good old Fenris. No other world is home to such poisonous plants.
Ulfar's voice drops to a conspiratorial whisper. Fenris, what is it like?
Fenris is home. A harsh land of harsh winters and harsh people. When comes the Hell Winter, a fearsome season of frosts, the merciless world sea freezes, and great white bears, snow wyrms, and ice trolls go on the hunt. Then the murderous frost retreats, and boats of harpooners sail out to ply their craft, capturing sea snakes and krakens.
The giant's gaze thaws.
And then comes the season of fire. Volcanoes awaken. Waves wash over whole islands, and only the land of Asaheim offers salvation to those whose blood and grit win them the right to live upon it. Clan fights clan, crows circle over battlefields, and wolf howls rise up to the sky. That is my beloved home. There is no place in the universe like it.
Ulfar concludes wistfully. So it's interesting, Space Wolves have a different dynamic than a lot of chapters. Firstly, they're allowed to remember their life before becoming a Space Marine, even post psycho-indoctrination. A lot of chapters basically get rid of their pre-Astartes memories. Salamanders also remember, and they're in fact, salamanders go back and hang out with their families. Space Wolves also return to Fenris and the Fang regularly for feasts and so on and so forth. It's a tighter knit chapter than a lot of the other chapters.
Tell me, Edfator, what is the most fearsome foe on Fenris?
A wily glint appears in Ulfar's eye. Fenris is known as a death world for good reason. There must be dozens of lethal creatures that inhabit the planet, which is more fearsome than all the rest. Wolves.
One cannot speak of Fenris without mentioning its wolves. Wolves are fearsome, but there are no more fearsome wolves than us.
There are no wolves on Fenris.
The curse of the Wolfen is the most fearsome and most terrible foe on Fenris. In the heart of every brother, there lives a dark beast, bloody and forever ravenous. He hungers to kill, not for glory or duty, or his battle brothers, but solely for the sake of killing. For he who falls to that dark beast, there is no joy or thrill in slaughter. There is but dull rancor.
The guttural roar of a storm rumbles in the wolf's voice. In icons I have seen, Astartes look much less wild.
Our gene seed is unique. Lehman Russ blessed us with the Canis Helix, a genetic gift that heightens our senses, making them sharper than those of brothers from other chapters. The Canis Helix kindles a bloodthirst in our hearts and changes our appearance to resemble the lethal wolves of Fenris.
For a Space Marine chapter, you are far from orthodox.
The wolves do not take orders from outsiders. We keep the old ways, not the Codex Astartes. We fight in packs, and we are trained and healed by our wise rune and wolf priests. We do not find honor in adorning ourselves in laurels, but instead etch the full names of our fallen kin as a promise of vengeance, and draw strength from that promise.
So the Codex Astartes was passed after the Horus Heresy, written by Guilliman, and it limited the legions to 1,000 Space Marines per chapter. That's where the successor chapters came in when they split up the original legions. The Space Wolves, again, well, didn't adhere to the Codex Astartes to begin with, but also, despite that, they are depleted most of the time. They were stretched very thin, as with every chapter, because the Imperium's always on the cusp of falling. But also the Space Wolves don't adhere to the 1,000 Space Marine limit. The original legions were 10,000 Space Marines strong. What do you believe in?
We believe in the Great Wolves, in the deadly Blackbane and fierce Drakan the Thunderwolf, in the redoubtable Hagar the Mountain Wolf, and in the Bloodied Hunter. In the wolf that stalks between stars, who follows us wherever we may go. And in the uncanny two-headed Morkai, guard of the realm of the dead. Of the great wolves, some show us their favor. Others are more malign. But each teaches us a lesson. For that, we praise and honor them.
Does that mean you do not believe in the immortal Emperor of humanity as a god?
The All-Father is not a god. He is the best of all humans, our perfect forebear. His blood flowed through the veins of Layman Russ, and Russ's blood flows in me. Does that make me a god? My respect for him has no end, and I am ready to die for him. But what place does faith have here? Is the All-Father like the massive Iron Wolf, whose every tuft of fur forms a mountain on the surface of Fenris?
Ulfar heaves his mighty shoulders.
Or is he as enormous as the Sun Wolf, which rises to hunt every morning and fills our world with light? The All-Father is not a god, but the highest of humanity. Ordinary humans struggle to grasp this. But we, his warriors and offspring, remember the truth.
So the Emperor never wanted to be worshipped as a god, and in fact, went out of his way to deny it. While also acting much like a god, but either way. I also believe that the Emperor is a man and not a god.
It makes his deeds all the more glorious. Battling gods is child's play when you yourself are a god. But if you are a man... now, that is the stuff that sagas are made of.
What else do your wise priests do?
Lacan the Ruined Wolf once shared the mysteries of the healing potions and the secrets of magic sagas. He taught them to see the past and future in thrown runes, to call down storms, and to carve powerful talismans.
I'm failing all of these checks. He says that the slightest power emanating from the charms Ulfar is wearing. You spoke of full names that give you strength. What is your name in that case?
Ulfar Redmane. That is what my brothers call me.
After a moment's silence, Ulfar replies. Given the warrior's boastful nature, the indifference with which he revealed his name is surprising. It seems he does not trust you enough to disclose his true name. I understand.
Do you? And there I was, about to round off my story with a short 400-verse saga about the gifts of Lacan the Ruined Wolf.
My curiosity has been satisfied.
Should what I told you reach other ears, I shall take your tongue.
Ulfar leans toward you, and with a friendly, only slightly fearful grin, says, How did you end up here?
What do you want to know? What brought the Space Wolves to the Expanse? Or how I ended up in the non-human's Dark City?
How'd you come to the Coronis Expanse?
An inquisitor by the name of Calcazar put out a call for aid. My wolf lord did not refuse him, and had 2 packs deployed to the Expanse. We never trusted this ally, but a blood debt for a service rendered in the past forced our hand.
The Inquisition wields immense power. The entire chapter might have come to the Coronis Expanse had Calcazar requested it. Well, Space Wolves and Inquisition have a kind of a spotty history. You have the Months of Shame. The Space Wolves deemed it necessary to protect the humans that had witnessed chaos while the Inquisition was trying to kill them. It's, I think one of the Space Wolves' more humanitarian feats. What debt did you owe the Inquisitor?
He saved our brother who had lost the pack and was unable to look after himself or the chapter's honor. Calcazar returned our brother to Fenris and kept secret the misfortune that had befallen him. The Jarl knew that the Inquisitor's actions were driven by opportunism, and the desire to have us mighty warriors in his debt. But honor forced him to be hospitable to the stranger, and swear an oath of friendship.
Ulfar's voice turns cagey. Why did the Space Wolves not trust the Lord Inquisitor? Well, why would you?
The Inquisition. Pah! Rats, scurrying around the All-Father's house and ruling it in the Master's absence. Cowards they are. The last into battle, but the first on any war council. We saw what they were worth in the Months of Shame.
Hey, that's the thing. Ulfar nearly spits out the words. You've never heard of the Months of Shame. It is probably something from Fenrisian history. I am failing every check. What are the Months of Shame?
An ancient strife. If you do not know of it, then you are not supposed to know.
Ulfar replies evasively. I've also met Xavier Calcazar, and I trust... Nah. I do not trust Calcazar. He is suspicious.
We also decided to be cautious. His words flowed like honey, and he seemed an honorable man. But lies always look like truth, don't they? That arrogant chief thought he could give us orders. But we wolves have always followed our own instincts and hunted in our own way. I wager that boiled his blood.
The red-haired Space Wolf chuckles smugly. What do you know of Xavier Calcazar's plans and objectives?
In warm furs, the old man does shroud his body. In cloaks of secrets woven, shrouds the sly man his plans. To know his dire purpose, swallow not the words of poison, but his gristle.
How'd you end up a captive?
We had gone on a raid for Xenos prisoners and fell into a trap. We had no war machines to support us, and some of our squad were wounded, so we were forced to retreat. I ordered my battle brothers to leave, but I remained behind to meet our guests. I do not know how many of the feeble wretches I slew, but I would have killed even more had their towering piles of bodies not hindered me in combat. They wounded me and captured me. They froze the joints in my armor. When they dragged me to their ship, 2 of my battle brothers descended upon the Xenos and tried to free me. An insane plan, but it almost succeeded. Almost. And so, there were 3 of us taken captive. And then there were 2. And then I was alone once again.
He heaves a sigh and it comes out like a growl. A grimace of pain is fixed on Ulfar's face, which is shadowed with grief. What happened to the other 2?
They fell with honor.
Ulfar says with grim curtness. Your fallen brothers, who were they?
Their saga is one I will not sing to you. You have spilled no blood with them, nor shared with them meat unmured. Their spirits might be outraged if they knew I had sung of their deeds to a stranger.
Ulfar lets out a sullen growl, and pins you with an icy glance to spark something within you. Awareness of the monstrous chasm separating you and the ancient superhuman standing opposite. I am sorry they died.
Yes, so am I.
Tell me about your time in Kibellah.
These are dark days you are asking about, Edfater. Let my keen-edged friend be a witness to the ferocity of my words.
Ulfar lets out a rumbling sigh, draws out the rune-covered knife that you saw him carry in the Dark City, and begins to spin it between his fingers, finding his equilibrium again.
I was given to Tarvantius for his amusement. In the arenas of Kibellah, Astartes are a rarity, and he sent me out there to kill gladiators. Living as an inglorious butcher and a Xenos' puppet, I hated it constantly, every moment. I had to take care of my mind before it was twisted to the 7 hells.
With every word, the bitterness and hostility in Ulfar's voice grow. After roaring and raging in Fenrisian for a time, Ulfar catches his breath.
Every morning I made entreaties to the Allfather, and every night I appealed to Ross. I trained my body, read the litanies, and in the darkest moments, I recited my own saga. I recalled every battle, every wound, every brother. And that is how I survived. I always survive.
The red-haired space wolf fixes you with a fierce glower and then turns away. I see.
This was a bleak saga, Edfater.
Answer a few questions about yourself.
Instinct bids me to remain silent. Such knowledge is not to be shared with just anyone. Only those who possess my complete trust.
Ulfar sucks in a breath, tasting your scent. I must take my leave.
Fenris Hilda, Edfater.
Alright, we'll step outside, then back in and see if we can speak to Kibellah. If not, we'll wrap it up here, and next time, I guess, enter the arena. I'll double check my quest log to see if that's the next step. But I believe that it is.
for we are thy blades.
All right.
Washed
Are you
in
unwell?
I can fight. Do not hesitate to unsheathe this blade if it is needed.
The time spent in the Dark City has left its mark on Kibellah. Life has left her eyes, her face is grim, and her skin has taken on a pale corpse-like pallor. Her ritual wounds, which she has renewed in a fit of frenzy, are swollen and inflamed. That is not what I asked. I want to know how you are doing.
The Vizier told us that we must die many times to learn the truth. We believed him. We died again and again. But it was all a lie, a delusion. We never truly passed to the other side. But here,
Bella clenches her fist to keep them from trembling.
I have known 11 deaths and resurrections, but the truth still eludes me. Death brought no answers, only more questions. Where do I begin, and where do I end? Is it really so easy to snatch a soul from the hands of the Undying One and return it to its body? If death is not the beginning or the end, if it is not the thread that guides us, then what is it?
Only you can decide who you are and what you believe.
I have lived according to the tenets of the blood-spun web for as long as I can remember. It is what I was told to do. I knew no other way. But perhaps this was the weakness in my soul's armor. I will think on what you've said, Domin.
I cannot help but wonder, are you the same Kibellah I once knew?
I still remember our first meeting, Domin, like it was yesterday. Every day I spent at the temple of the Undying One. Every one of the Vizier's lessons. Every soul I've ever ushered to the other side. Every death of my body and every revival.
She winces and looks away.
The web of my soul was unmade. Every time I died, I lost something important, something intangible, until finally, there was only me. I am all that is left of Kibellah. Now, a new web has been woven from the threads of the old. And though its pattern will never be the same, it still stores Kibellah's memories. My memories.
Did you manage to learn anything useful while you were in captivity?
All I heard was that accursed Xenos butcher boasting about another stolen son. Was it the truth? Or was it just another lie told by the Undying One's enemies? I do not know.
Yeah, we'll discover that in the next act. I'll be ready. We're getting out of this place.
We are thy hounds. We pursue the blood of thy foes. We shall not fear the end, for in meeting the end, we meet thee.
Bella nods and closes her eyes. Sweet. Still need to set Heinrichs free. Can't do that with contracts, so. Alright. Well, I guess next time we will do once more around the pit, or sorry, the chasm. The pit, the chasm, the anatomical opera, whatever. And, then I guess do the next fight in the arena. But for now, I'm going to call it here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.